my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. Hello! Hope all of you are doing fabulous today. I'm doing pretty fabulous myself because, well, it is that time of the week when I get to show you a new stitch. And this one I love to death. Oh, it's so gorgeous, and it is so easy. This is the V-Stitch Chevron. Really, really simple. It is just a one row repeat. Yes, you heard me correctly. And it works up super duper fast because, like so many of my favorite stitches, you're working into stitch spaces as opposed to working into actual stitches, so it works up super duper fast. Now, for this example, I used Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes. I saw this at Walmart and I couldn't resist because I just love the sort of muted colors of the rainbow going on. And yes, it is called Rainbow. That's the colorway. And for those of you that are curious, I did 10 multiples for the width of my project, and I used 4 of these skeins. Each one is just over 500 yards, so that gives you an idea as far as, how much yarn you might need for a nice sized throw. That's just me personally. This video is not sponsored, of course, but I like to let you know what it is that I use in case if you want to try to duplicate the results. And on top of that, for this project, I used, this is a 6mm size J crochet hook, but of course you can use whatever works best for you. Now, what I really like about this colorway is it sort of created color pooling, but it wasn't planned color pooling. And as I was sort of tooling along, there were big sections of one color and big sections of another color, all sort of smooshed together. And I was not planning on where the colors were going to happen. I just kept going and, added a new skein as one, ran out, and I just kept going. And I absolutely love the results. Now, of course, this would make a great stash buster, a scrappy stash buster by all means. The only thing that I would totally suggest, and I speak from experience, if you're using up your stash, make sure that the yarn that you're using is the same weight. Very, very important. Otherwise, you're going to get more than a chevron. You're going to get buckling and, wibbly wobbly tension going on. So make sure that the yarn is the same weight and preferably, of course, the same material. If you're using acrylic, stick with acrylic. Using, a natural fiber, stick with that natural fiber. Otherwise, things will get all cattywampus in a hurry. Enough of my yammering. Let's get on with the stitching. Alrighty. Okie dokie, as per usual, we're going to start off with the base chain. And I have quite an extensive base chain for today's example. The multiple for this particular stitch is a total of 26 chains plus an additional 4 chains. Okay, and I did 3 multiples of 26 plus my additional 4 chains. So I've got 82 chains here for just 3 multiples. Now, this particular stitch in particular, I highly recommend doing a swatch because as you are doing your chain, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my God, I've got tons and tons of chains. There's no way that this blanket could be that wide. Well, the thing is, as you go with chevron type patterns, your chain, it undergoes sort of a metamorphosis of sorts. It scrunches together and it condenses itself. And so what you thought was your initial chain length, actually, it accordions in. So I think it's very important, do a swatch first with, a couple of multiples of the 26 plus your additional 4. And based on that, you can then figure out how many multiples you would need for the width of your project, whether it is a baby blanket, a queen-sized piece, or, just a nice wide scarf, really whatever tickles your fancy. But I strongly suggest do a swatch first. So get your multiples of 26 plus an additional 4, and let's get started. Okay, row 1, which is going to be our foundation row. After this, every row is going to be the same with the repeat. So after getting your base chain ready, which is, again, multiple of 26 plus an additional 4 chains, get yourself situated, and we shall begin. Okay, and by the way, I'm using Lion Brand's Pound of Love in the colorway of Elephant Gray because I figure it would be a lot easier for you to see what it is that I'm doing. So going into the 4th chain from the hook, double crochet. There we are. And then skipping 2 chains, going into the 3rd with a V-stitch. And we're going to be doing a lot of these. So into that 3rd chain, double, chain 1, double, and that makes up a V-stitch. So double, chain 1, and double, all into that same chain. And then we're going to do 2 more for a total of 3 V-stitches. So skip 2 chains into the 3rd, double, chain 1, double. One more, skip 2 chains into the 3rd chain, double, chain 1, double for a V-stitch. Double, chain 1, and double. Okay, now at this point we have reached the top of one of our peaks. So skipping 2 chains into the 3rd, we're going to do sort of a twofer, if you will. After skipping those 2 chains, going in there, and instead of doing 2 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces, we're going to do 4. So skip those 2 chains into the 3rd, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double. So that creates the peak of one of our chevrons. Now we have to go back down towards the valley. Skip 2 chains into the 3rd, another V-stitch. So that's double, chain 1, and double. I almost had it. There we go. Okay, skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, double. Skip 2 more chains, and another V-stitch. Double, chain 1, and double. Okay. So as you can see here, well, this little bit right here, that's just the side, the end piece, but we've got 3 V-stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then we have the peak, and then we have 3 more V-stitches. Now, we're going to do the base of the valley. So, skipping 2 chains, going into the 3rd, start a double crochet by pulling up a loop and pulling through 2, but don't finish it. Then, skip 1 chain, and then into the next, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3 to do 2 double crochets together, but you're only skipping 1 chain in between the 2 there. Okay, from here, we're going to go back up to the next chevron peak. Skipping 2 chains, V-stitch into the next with a double, chain 1, double, double, chain 1, and double. Skip 2 chains, another V-stitch, double, chain 1, double, skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, and double. Okay, so we had our decrease right here, and then we did 3, so now we need to do another peak. So skipping 2 chains, going to do a sort of a double V, if you will. After skipping those 2 chains, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double. At the peaks, it's always 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. And then we have to go back down again. Skip 2 chains into the next, a V-stitch. Double, chain 1, double. Skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, double. Skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, double. And it is at this point that we reached the base of another one of our valleys. So skip 2 chains, start a double, but don't finish it. And then skipping 1 chain, do another one. Double crocheting these 2 together. So I already yarned over, pulling up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And that's the base. Okay, we got to go up and down once more. So going up, we skip 2 chains into that third, another V-stitch, double, chain 1, double, skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, double, skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, double, skip 2 chains, and then we've got the peak. So that's double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double. So we got our 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. Skip 2, double, chain 1, double, going back down after the peak to the next valley. Skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, double. Skip 2 chains, double, chain 1, double, and that's our 3 V-stitches, and then we're going to do 2 together once again. So skipping 2 chains and into the next, begin a double, but don't finish it. Yarn over, skip 1, and then into the last one, pull up the loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And there you go. So right now it's still very elastic and stretchy. However, over time it will condense more as we keep doing more rows. But your piece should look something like this. A little twisted, but you know, so am I. All right. And we shall continue on with the 1 row repeat. Okay, row 2 for the repeat. Every row for the rest of the project is the same, which is a fabulous thing. And so also, because we're going to be working into stitch spaces as opposed to actual stitches, it's going to go pretty quick. So chain up 2, and turn your work, and then working into the chain space of this first V-stitch here, double crochet. And it sort of acts like 2 double crochets being worked together. Then from here, I'm going to do again 3 V-stitches, but we're going to be going into the apex of this one right here for the third one. So going into just the chain 1 spaces. We're not going in between. We're going into the actual chain 1 spaces of our V-stitches. So double, chain 1, and double. Into the next chain 1 space of that V-stitch, double, chain 1, double. And then at the crown of this peak here, we've got 3 spaces. The ones on the sides, we're just going to be doing regular V-stitches. The one in the middle is where we're going to do our increase with the 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. Don't worry, we're going to do this a couple of times. So into that first chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double. Like so. Then into the middle space, 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. So that's 1, chain 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, and 4. Always important that you have the right number of spaces. You always need 3 spaces, which is also 4 doubles. Otherwise, you will run into a bit of a problem. And then into our next space, just a regular V-stitch of a double, chain 1, double. V-stitch into the next chain 1 space of the V-stitch, double, chain 1, double. And then in the next, double, chain 1, and double. Now the decrease. Okay, so this is the decrease from the previous row, and we're going to utilize the chain 1 spaces of the ones adjacent to it, and that sort of cinches things up together a little bit. So yarn over, going into that chain space, pulling up a loop and pull through 2, skipping the decrease in the middle, going to the next chain 1 space, yarn over, go into that space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And that creates the cinching effect that we need. And then proceed by doing 3 V-stitches. So into the chain space, double, chain 1, double. Next chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double. Double, chain 1, and double. And we reached the 3 spaces. In the first space, a regular V-stitch, double, chain 1, double. And then into the second space, we do our increase. So that's 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. So that's 1, chain 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, and 4. Okay. And then in the next 3 spaces, we do our V-stitches. So in that chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double. Next space, double, chain 1, double, and next space, double, chain 1, double. Okay, then going into the 2 V-stitches flanking our decrease, yarn over, going into that first one by pulling up a loop, pulling through 2. Yarn over, skip that decrease in the center, going into the next chain space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through all 3 for the decrease. And then in the next 3 chain 1 spaces, our V stitches. So going into this next one here with a double, chain 1, double. Next chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double. And, well, we've reached the apex again in the first of our spaces, the V-stitch, so it's double, chain 1, double. And into that middle one, well, we need to do our increase, so that's 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. So, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, and double. There you go. Then 3 more on the way down, and then we get to do our decrease once again. So in that one space, double, chain 1, double. Next V-stitch, double, chain 1, double, and the next space, double, chain 1, and double. And then to finish things off, we need to do the decrease at the end. So yarning over, going into the chain 1 space, pulling up a loop, pulling through 2, but do not finish. Nope. We need to yarn over here, and then where these 2 stitches connect, I like to go into the top of this double right here. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And there you go. That is the end of row 2, which is our repeat row. And because, well, I like to be thorough and I like spending time with you guys, we're going to do it once more together. But as you can see, our piece is starting to get a bit of the ziggy-zaggy going on here. And as you keep going, you'll get a better idea as to how condensed your initial chain will get. I would strongly suggest doing, I would say at least, I want to say half a dozen rows so that this gets more established before determining how wide your swatch, that's the word, how wide your swatch actually is before going for broke and doing a really, really long chain for figuring out the width of, say, like a queen-sized blanket or something. Give yourself a chance to get into the rhythm of the pattern first. And about half a dozen rows or so, you'll have yourself more situated. But there you go. So let's do a repeat together. Okay, so row 2 for the repeat. Can't help it. I like being thorough. It's part of my je ne sais quoi. My raison d'etre. All right, so from here, going to chain up 2, turn the work, and into this first chain 1 space, double crochet, and that acts as our decrease for the edge here. Then from here, into that next chain 1 space, do a V-stitch, double, chain 1, double, and then we need to do 2 more. So next chain 1 space, double, chain 1, double. we've reached the apex here, so into that first, double chain one double for the V-stitch, and then we're going to increase in the next one. Okay, so in that middle space, 4 doubles separated by chain one spaces. So that's 1, chain 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, and 4. Okay, next 3 chain 1 spaces, regular V-stitches. So double, chain 1, double. Next chain space, double, chain 1, double. Next chain space, double, chain 1, double. Okay, and then we need to do the decrease. If you look closely, you can see we got a V-stitch here, and we have another V-stitch here, and then right in the center, where we have that upside down V, that's where we have our decrease. So we're going to be utilizing these 2 spaces right here. So, yarning over, going into the first V-stitch, pulling up a loop and pulling through 2. Yarn over, skipping ahead to the next V-stitch right over here into that chain space, pulling up a loop, pull through 2, pull through all 3 for the decrease. Okay, and then scooting right along to the next 3 chain spaces. Got this one right here, double chain 1 double. Next chain space, double, chain 1, double. Next chain space, double, chain 1, double. Okay, get my yarn untangled here. It happens in the most inopportune moments, of course, but it does happen. There we go. No big deal. Okay, so we just went into the first space of our top increase at the peak. So in the second space, 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. So that's 1, chain 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, and 4. Voila. Okay, next 3 chain spaces, V-stitches. So, double, chain 1, double. Next space, double, chain 1, double. Next space, double, chain 1, double. Okay, then we need to do another decrease. So utilizing these 2 flanking V-stitches going on either side of that decrease there. So yarn over into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Yarn over, skipping the decrease, going to the next chain space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through all 3 for the decrease right there. Into the next chain space, double, chain 1, double. Next chain space, double, chain 1, double. Next space, double, chain 1, double. Okay, then into that middle space there, 4 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. 1, chain 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, and 4. Then we need to do 3 more of our V-stitches and then our decrease. Okay, so into this next space here, double, chain 1, double, 2 more, double, chain 1, double, 1 more to go, double, chain 1, and double. And then for the increase, not increase, the decrease, excusez-moi, for the decrease, going into the chain space of this last V-stitch here, and in the decrease right there. So going to yarn over, going into the chain space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, and then going into the top of this stitch right here, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And it really does create a really nice clean edge. I will say that. And that is all you have to do, my dears. Yes, you just keep going, repeating row 2 over and over and over again, as long as you want to, until your piece is the desired size. And there you go. It's beautiful, it's lacy, it's light. Depending upon what yarn you use, it could be a nice, really lightweight project, especially if you decide to use a hook size that is bigger than you would typically use for that weight of yarn. This could be a nice lightweight blanket for the warmer months, or, you could bulk up and make it something a bit more substantial, really depends on what you choose to do. And there you go, the V-stitch chevron. Alrighty, my dears, so that's going to conclude today's tutorial on how to do the V-stitch chevron. Really hope that you liked it, and if you did, please give a little thumbs up button down below, because you know that I appreciate your appreciation as always. And in the comments section, I want to hear from you. What sort of a project are you going to make with this? A wide scarf, a wrap, a baby blanket, something for, snuggling up under, in the couch, watching a movie? Let me know. What sort of colors, what sort of colorways? Is it going to be a stash buster for you? Always interested in hearing about your creative journey and the choices that you make. Always find it fascinating. And, well, as always, until next time, you know what to do, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.